Yo, what is up, y'all? Rowdy HQ back with the week 2 NFL predictions. Yeah, so last week my predictions were way off. I did not expect the Rams to get blown out at home, and my Cowboys looked terrible. But hopefully this week we get some more accurate predictions. So yeah, let's get into it with the Thursday night game. Chargers at Chiefs, and ultimately I have the Chiefs winning 31-24. The Chargers in recent years have had success at Arrowhead, which is really impressive, but Keenan Allen's not going to play, and I don't know if JC Jackson's going to suit up. And the Chiefs just look so good in week 1. I mean, I know it was against the Cardinals, who I think I said I thought we're going to have a down year, but I just think that the Chiefs' firepower still with Mahomes and Kelsey is going to be too much. Now, later in the season, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win the rematch, but I don't know if the Chargers have enough weapons to keep up with the Chiefs the first time around. So, yeah, the Chiefs I think, are going to win this game 31-24. So, the second game, Patriots at Steelers. I think this one's going to be a little more of a slow affair, but I have the Steelers ultimately winning 21-14. Mitch Trubisky looked pretty good in his start, and this year I just do not think that the Patriots are going to have a high flying offense. They're going to have to go into the next or before the trade deadline or next season with more weapons. And the Steelers defense looked good. TJ Watt's going to be out, but I don't know if it's as bad as people originally thought, which was good. He had a big impact, but Minka Fitzpatrick. Oh, I forgot to do my player of the game for the Chiefs Chargers. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce like he did in the rematch last season. But for Steelers Patriots, my impact player, I'm gonna go with Minka Fitzpatrick. That dude made up his money. Well, he was always a good player, but last season I think it was a little down, but he was the AFC defensive player for a reason. That guy was going crazy last week. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Minka Fitzpatrick as the player of the game. Um, Mac Jones is still pretty young, so I wouldn't be surprised if he picks him off, gets a lot of tackles. So yeah, Steelers 21, Patriots 14. So the third game, Panthers at Giants. I'm gonna go with Panthers 21, Giants 20 in a close affair like the Giants game was last week. The Panthers impressed me in the second half, specifically Baker. So I'm gonna have Baker as my impact player for this game. Um, Honestly, you could go with Christian McCaffrey. DJ Moore is probably gonna bounce back because he didn't do too much, even though the Browns secondary is pretty good. But I think this is gonna be a pretty close affair. But yeah, I have the Panthers winning 21, Giants 20 at MetLife. Whatever, I forgot the name of the stadium. So anyway, the fourth game is Jets at Browns, and I have the Browns winning 24 to the Jets 14. I don't know if this is going to be that close. The Browns defense looked pretty good, and the Browns rushing attack is awesome. The Jets I still think are pretty young. I think they have a year or two till they click, and we got to see what's up with Zach Wilson. But for this game, I'm gonna have Nick Chubb as the impact player. He went off last week, but he didn't have any touchdowns. Kareem Hunt was put in those situations, but I think Nick Chubb's going to be hungry, so I think that's a pretty obvious impact player. It could be Myles Garrett too, because he's always an impact player. But yeah, I'm gonna have Nick Chubb as the impact player and Browns 24, Jets 20, or sorry, Jets 14. So the fifth game on the schedule, Colts at Jaguars. Um, the Colts have struggled recently against the Jags in Jacksonville, but finally, I think they're going to get a win. I have the Colts winning 28 to the Jags 21. I think it'll be a pretty high action affair. Jonathan Taylor as my impact player. I think he's a safe option every week, to be honest. He's the best running back in the NFL right now. He can do anything you want in a bell cow. He's fast, he's strong, he's agile for his size. I was super high on him coming out of the draft, but I think Trevor Lawrence, I think it'll be a high scoring affair. James Robinson looked good back from the injury he sustained last season. But yeah, I'm gonna have the Colts finally getting a win in Jacksonville. So the sixth game, Dolphins at Ravens. I have the Ravens winning 24 to the Dolphins 21. Lamar had some big plays. He had some really good touchdown throws. The Dolphins offense showed that it's explosive. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek is probably the most explosive duo in the NFL currently. But I have the Ravens winning. Think they're maybe a little more experienced, and Lamar is my impact player because he's going to be hungry for that contract. I don't know like what the situation with the Ravens is right now in him, but yeah, I think he's going to get his money eventually. I'd be shocked if he didn't. So yeah, Lamar is my impact player. Ravens 24, Dolphins 21 in a close affair. So next game on the schedule, Buccaneers at Saints. Originally, I had the Bucks winning this game, like I think 35-28, but I'm a little concerned about the receiver situation right now. It looks like almost everyone's injured with something, especially Chris Godwin. I've seen they want to be careful with him. Like I think Todd Bowles described it as a week to week situation, but yeah, I have the Saints winning. They've had a winning streak in the regular season against the Bucks for a while. It's in New Orleans, and I think they still have a good defense. And Michael Thomas, it didn't look like he missed a minute. He came back. I was shocked, to be honest. I thought he might struggle a bit, but yeah, he looked like the player he was 2 years ago, like a top 3 or 5 receiver. So I'm gonna go with Michael Thomas as my impact player. He gets open, and I think that's a good pick. So Saints 28, Buccaneers 24, in New Orleans. So for the next game, Commanders at Lions. I have the Lions winning 28, Commanders 24. The Lions offense looked good. And like I said last week, I thought that their offense was going to look better than people thought. I mean, they're maybe outside of quarterback, they're good at every position on offense. Jeff Okuda looked good in his time back. Carson Wentz made some errors. That Trayvon Walker pick was ridiculous, but Jahan Dotson looked like a beast. I mean, he might have been the most impressive rookie receiver last week. Terry McLaurin, they got weapons now in Washington, which is scary. Carson Wentz is going to sling it, but I have the Lions winning 28-24, and my impact player is going to be, I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift because he looked good. Him and Jamal Williams are one of the nastiest tandem running back duos in the league, but I'm going to go with, oh, my bad. It's DeAndre Swift. Yeah, DeAndre Swift. Okay. So I'm gonna have him as my impact player. So for the next game, I'm gonna have the Seahawks at 49ers, and I'm gonna have the 49ers 24, Seahawks 17. I think the Seahawks are gonna come back down to earth, and I don't think that the 49ers are gonna look as bad as they did last week. I mean, the conditions were bad, but they still shouldn't have lost. Yeah, Geno Smith looked legit out there. DK and Tyler Lockett made a bigger impact than I thought they would. And I'm impressed with Pete Carroll. I think the narrative might be turning on him in a more positive manner because I was kind of shocked that the Seahawks fans were booing Russell, but I think that they're going to side with Russell. And it looked like, I mean, he said that the team had something to prove. So they played with fire. They played with more fire than the Broncos did last week. I'm impressed with them. They might not be as bad as I originally thought they'd be, but I think the 49ers are going to bounce back. That team's too talented to lose 2 games in a row to okay teams. So I'm going to go 49ers 24, Seahawks 17, and I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel. He didn't receive that much last game. He was pretty good as a runner, I think, but yeah, I'm going to go with Deebo as the player, impact player of the game. That's always a safe bet. Falcons at Rams. I think the Rams are going to bounce back 28 to the Falcons 14. The Falcons choked again against the Saints, but I think the Falcons have a bright future, but the Rams are going to bounce back. I think this is a team that's going to get back on track. I mean, Cooper Kupp is going to go off regardless. Matt Stafford's still good. The defense is still good. I think they're just going to bounce back. Sean McVay is too good to get embarrassed 2 weeks in a row. So, yeah, Rams 28, Falcons 14 in Los Angeles. So the next game, Cardinals at Raiders. I have the Raiders winning 31-21. It might be closer, but I'm just scared of this I think, like I said last week, I think that this Cardinals team is in a rebuild. They might not say it. They're gonna get DeAndre Hopkins back at some point, and I think they just need to patch the line on both sides. Like I said, I think Kyler's good. You got DeAndre Hopkins, good running back. I like their tight end tandem, but they need a year to fill in the pieces. Now, the Raiders, I loved everything about that offense except the line. I was scared of that line going into the season. I think if they patch the line next season or throughout this season, and then they fill in the defensive pieces next season because they got Waller under contract now, which is good. They got Renfro and Devontae Adams did not skip a beat. I was worried that maybe he was gonna not do as well, but he gets open. He's probably the best at getting open, and that guy is the number one friendly receiver guy in the league. Like that guy is just gonna make your quarterback's life so much easier. So I'm gonna go Devontae Adams as the impact player for this game. Yeah, that dude did not skip a beat coming from Green Bay, which is concerning for Green Bay fans. But yeah, the Raiders have a high powered offense. I'm gonna go 31-21. Next game, Texans at Broncos. I think the Broncos are gonna bounce back. 24-14. And they struggled. There was some boneheaded play calling at the end of the game. The running backs fumbled it twice at the goal line, which I think Melvin Gordon had an issue last season with that. Don't quote me on that, but I think. But I don't think they're going to lose twice in a row. The Texans are okay. Russell Wilson's going to get back on track. So yeah, Broncos 24, Texans 14, and I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson as the impact player because Fry was the impact player last week. He didn't do too much, but the Broncos as a whole were kind of disappointing. But Russell Wilson's a safe bet. So next game, Bengals at Cowboys. I have the Bengals winning 27 to the Cowboys 17. The Cowboys were susceptible to giving up big plays last season. You saw the Julio Jones deep pass, and Jamar Chase is the king of the big play right now in the NFL. I think he's going to go off, and I think that the Cowboys will have some success running the ball, but this receiving, I was probably wrong. The receiving game for the Cowboys is bad. It's bad. And I think that the Bengals are going to come in, hang some points. I think the defense will do okay for the Cowboys, but you can only do so much when your offense is going 3 and out on like back-to-back drives. So my impact player is going to be Jamar Chase. I think that no matter what, you can't really stop him. He's going to get one on you eventually. So I'm gonna have Jamar Chase as impact player. Bengals 27 at Cowboys 17. So Bears at Packers. I think the Packers are gonna get back on track. I'm gonna have them win 24-14 with Aaron Rodgers bouncing back. I mean, like I said, I thought that this team was going to struggle early and then they were going to get hot. Like you saw Christian Watson drop a wide open touchdown later in the season. I don't think he's going to do that. And yeah, I think, like I said last time, I think Aaron Rodgers is deadlier when he's the underdog and there's no expectations. The Bears shocked me last week, but I don't think that that's a sign of the season. I think the Packers win 24-14 in a comfortable game. And I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers as the impact player to maybe get like 3 touchdowns. So the next game, Titans at Bills. This is going to be my blowout of the week. The Bills looked like a juggernaut last Thursday against the Rams. And they made mistakes and they recovered. I'm going to have them win 35-14. I don't think the Titans, I think the Titans are finally going to come back down to not making the playoffs. They got rid of AJ Brown. He balled out last week. They got rid of Julio. Like I said, I thought it was a little too early to do that. I think they're going to be in a mini rebuild. They might win some games because I don't think the AFC South is that good, but the Bills looked unstoppable. I mean, they made mistakes. Stephon Diggs got back on track from not a high statistical season last year. Josh Allen's making a case for a top 3 quarterback. He's probably already a top 3. The D line finally for the Bills has clicked. I think that is the one signature thing. They got Von Miller and Gregory Rousseau, who a lot of Cowboys analysts in the local area were not high on, but I think he got a sack. Von Miller dominated. Rams are going to regret not re-signing him. The whole D line, I think, has aged and finally clicked. So yeah, I'm gonna have the Bills 35, Titans 14. And for I think what's going to be the game of the week is Vikings at Eagles. I'm gonna have the Vikings win 31-28. I think the Eagles is going to hang more points on this Vikings defense than the Packers did. Now, the Vikings D line looked really good. Zadarius Smith was a great pickup. That was one of the best pickups in the offseason for any team. I wish the Cowboys had gone after him over Randy Gregory. I don't know why they didn't pay Von Miller or Zadarius Smith what they wanted. But besides that, Justin Jefferson, he's gonna have a case for the best receiver of all time. As a Cowboys fan, I'm salty we didn't get him, but that dude's legit. But the Eagles offense, I don't think it's going to struggle as much as the Packers because they can scheme Jalen Hurts to run. He might be the best running quarterback outside of Lamar Jackson right now. AJ Brown looks like a stud. He always looked like a stud. Devontae Smith didn't do too much, but I think he'll bounce back. Good O line. Yeah, I have the Vikings winning 31, Eagles 28 at Philadelphia. So yeah, that's my week 2 predictions. Hopefully they're more accurate this time because last week I was way off. I think there's going to be some high scoring affairs this week. And if you want to leave your comments or leave your score predictions in the comment sections, feel free. Click that like button, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see what videos I have lining up. If the Cowboys get off to a bad start, I'm probably going to do like some draft player analysis because the season is kind of looking bleak right now. They need to get Dak back and they need to get good Dak back. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See y'all later.